Good evening, everyone, once again, and welcome to our Sunday night Vision Mastery Leadership Call. This is Aileen Galera, your host all the way from California. Hope everyone is having an awesome Sunday night, and grateful and thankful for another chance to be stretched tonight, to be empowered tonight. And so we are very, very fortunate to have a great leadership training and support that always empower us to all win. And it's never too late to learn and to be empowered. And tonight we are going to receive great information as well as great empowerment that will help us stretch what we envision and take our business to the next level. So grab your pen and your paper and prepare to take notes. Be in front of our webinar platform. That's project100krevolution.com. And again, I have the distinct honor and pleasure to be able to bring on our featured trainer for tonight. He's an extraordinary leader, a gentleman that I have known as well and respected for almost 6 years. He is none other than Mr. Walter A. Mr. Ford, who's also been in this industry of direct sales and home-based business for over 25 years. He's built a huge international organization into the tens of thousands where he travels nationwide and international, mentoring and coaching people to become successful entrepreneurs and great leaders. And he gives so much wisdom and knowledge and skills, passion and dedication and commitment to anyone he works with in and outside TLC. And I'm just so honored to call him my mentor, my coach, my success partner, and my good friend. And now I bring you to the line, Mr. Walter A. Mr. Ford.
Ms. Galera, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Please take it away.
Appreciate you so much, ma'am, and just appreciate that incredible introduction. You know, every time you introduce somebody, you do it in such a humble spirit. And I'm telling you, you yourself are having so much success. So many people don't even know the level of success you're having because you're behind the scenes, international, growing international teams as well as national teams. So I just want to thank you for that incredible introduction, that humble introduction, and just want everybody on the call to know that you're an incredible leader yourself. Thank you so much, and I want to say good evening to the entire New Global family. If you're on this call tonight, you are a New Global family member. So I definitely want to say good evening, and again, it's my privilege and honor to be on this call tonight to just share with everybody. I don't know about you, but on social media, as I stated before, I have been feeling the shift that is taking place in so many people's lives, in so many people's businesses, and we're going to continue to just add on to that shift, to continue to just move things forward in a supernatural way, guys. I'm telling you, things are happening here in TLC, and so many things are going to be happening for you and your business, for plugging into these calls, and more importantly, getting your team on these calls. You know, over the last couple of weeks, we had some incredible training, listening to Mr. Scott do training, Miss Aileen Galera, so many leaders just pouring back into the organization. And a couple of weeks ago, we did a training at the beginning of our 90-day blitz. Our 90-day blitz, if you were on that call, it was the 5 Ps of a 90-day blitz. And guys, what I want to really make everybody aware of and understand is that call was not just designed to just have a great call, to just put some great notes out there. It's so that we can continually revisit those 5 Ps. We can continually focus on those 5 Ps, and each one of those can be a training in itself. So if you remember, those 5 Ps were prospecting and exposing. They were PS3. It was planning your goals. We talked about personal development, guys. We talked about so many incredible things on that call that I just want to make sure that we continue to move forward with those 5 Ps, and I want to focus on one of them. And we also talked about with personal development, planning, so many different things, guys. I'm just, my mind's everywhere because I just want to get this information out. I want to focus tonight on PS3, piquing the interest, showing the plan, 3-way calls. I want to focus on that tonight, piquing interest, showing the plan, and 3-way calls. And really what sparked my interest on training on this tonight is as I travel across the country, as I talk to so many other people in different organizations that just reach out for help and other members that we've come in contact with as we go to these different events, I noticed that there's one area that a lot of people, especially new people that come into the industry, have a problem or struggle with, and it's piquing that interest, showing the plan, 3-way call. I actually even was talking to a distributor out of the Georgia marketplace, and they were having a hard time getting people to their events. And I asked them to tell me a little bit about how you're contacting and inviting them. And they told me that what they do is they put it out on Facebook or they put it out on Eventbrite I'm hoping that some people will see it and come. And I just want to share this with you. If it was that easy, family, then our founder and CEO, all he would have to do is post on Facebook, post on Eventbrite, and build a company himself. But we're taking our network, the people that we know, people that we meet, and we're building a relationship with them, and we're using certain techniques to your advantage to move people through our system. So again, I hope everybody tonight is taking notes. I hope you have a pen and a pad. And if you don't, go ahead and grab a pen right now. Grab a notebook. I always say this because my mentor said it to me and it's stuck with me for years. I'd rather have a short pencil than a long memory any day. Remember we talked about the fact that leaders are going to take notes, they're going to study their notes, and more importantly, they're going to implement their notes. And there's a lot of individuals that have been plugging into this call that have been implementing their notes, and we're seeing the success all over social media. So we want to continue to do the same exact thing. We want to continue to plug in as we talk about PS3, piquing interest, showing the plan, and a three-way call. So what I want to do is I want to start off just very quickly as we move into this training tonight. I want to talk about the type of individuals that we want to have in our business. And when we start off talking about these individuals, we're starting to talk about our list right from the beginning. One of the first homework assignments that you're given, if you look at our Dare to Dream, and we're going to be referring to the Dare to Dream a lot, so if you don't have that, you want to go to www.teamngd for newglobaldynasty.com, teamngd.com. You want to download that Dare to Dream because that's our playbook, and we're going to refer to that playbook a lot. One of the homework assignments that you're going to be given is to complete a list of 100 names and numbers. Now, let me share this with you, just so I can kind of cut through a lot of the red tape. And I know so many times when we're working with new individuals and we're working with people that have not earned six figures multiply in different companies or had a level of success, they want to try to do things outside the norm. And if you have a system that works for you, hey, that's fine. But on this team, we understand that it's network marketing and that the first task we're going to give you is to expose your network. And once you learn how to do that, you're going to effectively teach other people how to do the same thing. And as you increase the people that you speak with, as you increase the amount of people that come onto your team, you start to increase your network through their networks and increasing your net worth. Okay? So you build that list of 100 people, and then we're going to want to expose those people. So as you're looking at that list of 100 people, there's a tendency, and I've been there before, that's why I know I can talk about this. There's a tendency to look at that list and start to go down that list and skip over people's names, right? And what we have a tendency to do is we have a tendency to expose the individuals that we think need the opportunity. Your best friend that just borrowed $100 from you. Your best friend that just lost his job. You know, a couple other friends that you know that work out at the gym. We in our minds, we picture the people we think need this business, and those are the individuals that we go to first, right? Because they're the easiest ones to go to. Usually the people that are having just a little bit less success than we are, those are the ones we have a tendency to go to. But there are some individuals that we want to make sure that we're exposing, and there's a group of individuals called the 4 checkers. A group of individuals that have a certain qualification level that if we introduce those people, they will attract a higher group of individuals to your business, and you'll notice the caliber of people that you bring on will be at a higher level. Okay, so let's talk about those 4 checkers first. You want to, on your list, mark down people that have a high center of influence. You have to ask yourself as you're looking at individuals that you're exposing to your business, do they have a high center of influence? You know, if you think about your pastors of churches, you think about coaches of football or basketball teams, maybe a den mother of the Girl Scouts, people that influence a lot of people, that's somebody, a qualification you want to look for because those individuals can usually bring on masses of people with them. Because of their high center of influence, they can usually say to a group of people, 10, 15, 20 people, hey, I need you to be at a certain place, and they'll be there. So as you're going through this mental checklist, I want you to think about people that have a high center of influence. The second thing I want you to look for is people that are self-starters. This is a voluntary business. There's no bosses in this business. There's nobody to tell you what to do. You do have a coach. You do have a mentor that will guide you, but you want to look for people that are self-starters, people that you don't have to call every day, but they call you. People that you don't have to remind them to get on a call. They're reminding you. People that just get up and get things done. They're up early in the morning. They're starting on their day. They're taking notes. They're studying them. And every time you turn around, you see the implementation of what you taught them. You want to think about people like that are always on the move. They're always doing something. They're self-starters. The third type of individual you want to look for are people that are coachable, teachable, and trainable. People that are coachable, teachable, and trainable. Let me share a story with you. When I decided to come on board with TLC, and myself and Mr. Scott, we talked with Ms. Galera as well, and we just made a decision that we're going to leave a company that we were with and make a true run over here at TLC. We started to think about individuals that we wanted to expose right away, and we did not come with a team. And as I was thinking of individuals, I was going through my 4 checkers, I was thinking about my cousin. And my cousin is very, very successful in life. Owns several different companies. He's owned a mental health company for about the last 16 years, has a trucking company, very successful real estate company. But one of the things that I respect about him so much is that he's coachable and teachable. And that although he's successful in other areas, he's never been successful in network marketing. So when he came on board, he just said, listen, what do I need to do next, coach? And those type of individuals you want to work with. I know there's going to be people that you're going to bring on board that are going to be successful in their field, right? There might be a successful real estate broker. There might be a successful manager of a franchise, but they've never had success in network marketing. And those individuals sometimes come on board. They want to tell you how to do it. You want to work with people that are coachable and teachable and understand that we have systems in place. The acronym for a system is saving yourself some time, energy, and money, and that the system will duplicate success. So is a person coachable, teachable, and trainable? The fourth thing you want to think about is that individual financially able to get started? Okay? And listen, I truly believe in helping everybody. I truly believe that everybody deserves a shot at a fresh start. Everybody deserves a shot at this incredible opportunity that we have. But you want to think, can the person get started? And what you'll find is if a person can get started at 1600, their center of influence, the people that they hang around with, can usually get started at that same level. If you have a person and a group of people that can only get started at 49, you'll start to notice that the people they bring on board will only get started at 49. So you want to ask yourself, as you're looking through these lists, how many of the people on your list have as many as these 4 checks as possible? Those are the first individuals that you want to actually share this information to. And I'm telling you, because I've been there before, a lot of times on our list, we skip over the 4 checkers because we're afraid. We think they're not going to look at the opportunity. We have that little bit of a fear, that false evidence appearing real. So those are the individuals that we shy over. And I remember for years and years being in this industry, one of the first people that would be on my list would be my father. And my father, has been a very successful in corporate America as well as his own business and, master's degrees and doctorate. And I was just always afraid to expose him until my mentor sat down with me, went through these 4 checkers with me, saw me put those 4 checks next to my father's name and said, why have you not exposed him yet? And it really just made sense, that false evidence appearing real. Once I got over that, once I understood that it was just a feeling that of something trying to hold me back and expose him, he's been supportive in every endeavor since then. These are the type of people that you want in your business. Well, there's also 5 pointers. There's also some other things that you want to look for in individuals that get involved with network marketing that have the highest level of success, okay? You want to ask yourself, is this person mature? Okay, usually going for people that are 25 years and older is where you want to look for people. They just have a different sense of maturity and responsibility level, okay? So you want a person who's 25 years or older. You also want to ask, is this person married? Usually married people have a stronger sense of commitment when they get involved in things. And when you can get a married couple on the same page, working together as one, they can do incredible things in this industry. And just look at all of the married couples that are ambassadors, that are global directors in our company, they're working together, working their business as one, having incredible success. Does a person have a child? Most people that have children also have a sense of responsibility. So these are just other pointers you want to look for. Do they own their own home? Usually homeowners have a sense of stability, right? They've done some things to get that home, so they understand how to set goals and to go for those things. Does a person make $40,000 to $80,000 a year? Usually those type of individuals have disposable income to use to get something started as a home-based business. And then we say the one more. This is something that I always look for, and I was on a three-way call with a gentleman that just pointed out so many great factors, and one of the things that he said, and this is what you want to listen for, is do they want more out of life than they currently have? Some people might not be four checkers. Some people might not have the 5 pointers, but they just want more out of life than they currently have. These are the qualities that you want to look for as you expose people to your business. And I want you to think about your business as a Fortune 500 company, and what you're doing is putting together a board of directors. And when you think about a board of directors, you think about the most qualified people to sit on that board to help that company go to the top. And these are some of the characteristics, these are some of the points that you're going to look for as you put together that list of 100 people. You're going to expose everybody, but there are some individuals that you want to expose first with the 4 checkers and the 5 pointers. Okay? So if you're not on the web, you definitely want to get on there so you can see this information, so it can not only you can hear me talk about it, but you can see it as well, so it can sink in that much more, because in this industry, he or she that can expose the most amount of people will win in this game. And all we're doing is we're exposing people and we're collecting decisions. We're exposing people and we're collecting decisions. So if you're on the web right now, I'm going to take you through our PS3 in the Dare to Dream, our peaking interest, showing the plan, 3-way call, our actual script that we use and have been using for years that has just created success. You know, a lot of people don't talk to other individuals because they just don't know what to say. They're afraid. And, you know, one thing about a script is nothing more than just words. It's a guideline to give you. And most of you at your job use scripts when you answer the phone. Right? At your job, they say, hey, when you answer the phone, this is how we want you to answer it. That's a script. And the first time you might fumble, the second time you might fumble, but the third time, rattling it right off. The fourth time, before you know it, you pick up the phone and you're just speaking that introduction right off the top of your head. And the crazy thing about it is that even if you mess up, the person on the other line doesn't even know it. So again, sometimes we back ourselves up in a corner because of this false evidence that appears real, not understanding this old proverb that I heard a long time ago that says, once you defeat that enemy on the inside, the enemy on the outside can do you no harm. So sometimes it's just doing the thing. And Emerson said, if you do the thing, you'll have the power. And as you do this over and over again, the fear starts to go away. You know, I remember Mr. Scott saying this to somebody. We're just talking to an individual about doing the presentation, about getting on and hosting some calls. And Mr. Scott said to the person, you know, once you do it and you find out you're still living, you say, you know what, I can do it. I can go on another day, and I can go on another day. It's just getting through it through that first time. So let's talk about some of the scripts that we put together that, again, if you use these, show your team how to use these, you can have success. And I'm not telling you the things that I think, I'm telling you what I know, okay? So let's talk about you sitting down right now. You're going through your list. You want to keep things very simple. You don't want to try to explain the business of total life changes to anybody. Now, I want you to write this down. If you talk long, you talk wrong. The worst way to do this business, unless you're doing a one-on-one or presentation, is by the words out of your mouth. The worst way to do this business is by the words out of your mouth. So you always want to be thinking third-party tool. You always want to do the ushering, allow someone or something else to do the preaching, but you bring home the offering, okay? And I always want you to think third party, third party, third party. And I'll tell you, when I first got involved in this industry, I learned some of the presentations quick. I learned some of the materials about the products quick. And what I learned is that I was doing a lot of talking and I was giving some good information. but I wasn't bringing any people on board because the people that were listening to me talk were saying, that's some good information, but if I have to remember all that, then no way am I going to do this business. So I was literally hurting myself by doing more talking. And the more I learned to use the tools, the more I learned to have someone or something else do the explaining for me, I started to have more success. So let's look at the first script that we have here. This is a way that you can use to get somebody to take a look at the information. Again, you're just piquing their interest. Piquing someone's interest is like a trailer to a movie. A trailer to a movie doesn't give you everything. It gives you 30 seconds. It gives you a couple minutes of the highlights, and then they want to get you to the movie. So you just want to get somebody to the movie. And we're going to teach you exactly how to do that. I see a couple more people getting on the webinar. So if you're not on the webinar, you want to make sure you get on there. Project 100K Revolution. We only have a couple more spots before we're actually locked out. So make sure you get on there so you can see this information. We're going right now to the webinar. Give me 1 second here so that everybody can see this. Good stuff. When you have your list in front of you, have this page of your Dare to Dream right there in front of you. And I'm telling you, say it word for word. Master it first. Put your own personality behind it, but just get used to saying the words. And what I want you to do is when you're looking at that list, I want you to start off with the first person. Don't skip around. Start off with the first person. And let's say we want to get a person to hear some information, okay? This is what I want you to do, and this is what I want you to say. Hey, Jason, I don't have a lot of time. The first thing that you want to do is you want to be in a rush. You want to be in a rush. So write that down. The first thing that you're going to do on your calls, when you're calling your prospect, you're going to be in a rush. We're going to teach you how to be in a rush, show value, and then take it away, okay? So, hey, Jason, I don't have a lot of time right now. So right off the bat, I'm letting Jason know that I don't have a lot of time to talk, that I need to get right to the point on what I'm talking about. So, hey, Jason, I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm tied up, but I need just a few minutes to run something past you. Do you have a minute? If a person says, no, I don't, then that's not the good time to try to share something with them. If they say, yes, I do, and wait for the response, then you want to tell them what to do. And I need you to understand this philosophy. Most people, especially if you're working a job, you're used to psychologically being told what to do. So I found, and a lot of the leaders have found, if you just tell somebody what to do in this business, they'll do it. So if you say to a person, hey, do you have a minute? And they say yes, and you tell them, hey, get in front of your computer, you'll start to notice that they'll get in front of their computer. So if I'm on the phone with Jason, I'm going to say, hey, do you have a minute? He says yes. I'm going to say, great, get in front of a computer. And this is all coming from the script. Okay, hold on for a minute. Okay, I'm there. Okay, you're at the computer? Yes. Good. Go to this website, www.teamngd.com. Let me know when you're there. Okay, I'm there. Great. I want you to watch that short video number 1, and I'm going to call you back in 30 minutes. Well, what's it all about? Hey, listen, I got to go. I need you to look at that. I'll call you back in 30 minutes. That's it. That's what you're going to do to some of your friends and family members you're close with, that you have that type of relationship where you can say, I need you to do this. Okay? Exactly that. Exactly that. Hey, Jason. Hey, listen, Jason, I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm tied up, but I need just a few minutes of your time to run something past you. Do you have a minute? Pause, listen, and wait for the response. If they say yes, great. Get in front of a computer. Are you there yet? Yes. Okay, great. I need you to go to this website, www.teamngd.com. Are you there? Yeah. Listen, I need you to watch that short video, and I'll call you back in 30 minutes. Okay? Well, what's it all about? Listen, I got to go. I'll call you back in 30 minutes. Hang up the phone. Now, let's say the person does not have a computer. They're not near a computer. On the script, it tells you what to do. Great, grab a pen. Are you near a computer? No. Well, great, grab a pen. That's called gapping somebody. And I guarantee you, if you're ever around somebody and say, hey, do me a favor, grab a pen, they'll grab a pen. So when they grab a pen, what I want you to do is I want you to give them the pre-recorded number. You can either give them the pre-recorded number. If there's a call that's taking place in just the next few minutes, you can give them that call. But what I suggest you do is give them the next exposure they can get on. And what I mean by that, if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and the call's 10 o'clock tonight, don't use the 10 o'clock call. That's 9 hours away. I want you to use this number, 857-957-1985. 857-957-1985. Once a person has that number, say, listen, I need you to dial into that number right now. I'll call you back in 30 minutes. Now, that number is a pre-recorded call of Miss Stormy Wellington going through the plan, but they don't need to know it's pre-recorded. Because if you tell somebody it's pre-recorded, they're going to get on it at another time. You want them to get on right now. And I want everybody to start thinking about their business as right now. The speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader. This business of network marketing is about volume and velocity. It's about how much volume you can create and how fast you can do it. So you need to start having that right now mentality. Not next week, not 10 hours from now, but right now. Right now. You want somebody on that call right now. Okay? So again, let's go through this real quick. Hey, Jason. Hey, listen, I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm tied up. I just need a few minutes to run something past you. Do you have a minute? Yes. Great. Get in front of your computer. I don't have a computer near me. Okay, great. Then grab a pen. Call this number. 857-957-1985. What's it all about? Listen, I don't have a lot of time to explain it, but I will call you back in 30 minutes. Talk to you later. That's all you do. That will literally take you a couple seconds. And if you can do that with 4 to 5 to 6 people a day, you have massive exposures going on. And the reason that most people can't expose a lot of people in one day is because you're talking too long. You're having 30-minute conversations with one person, and you can't have but just a couple of 30-minute conversations before that's a part-time job. So you have to learn how to leverage your time through the systems. And what I'm teaching you right now is a system that you can do, and you can teach a massive group of people to do that. So if I, on my lunch break, after going through this a couple times, can master it, and I can call it, say, 15, 20 people on my lunch break while I'm eating my sandwich, in between, taking a bite, I'm calling people, and I'm getting them to one of these different exposure processes. I just expose, maybe let's say out of those 15 people, 5 will answer the phone. That's 5 people that I have exposed to my business that took place on my lunch break. 5 times 7 days a week is 35 people that are now exposed to your business. Now, the beautiful thing about this is we're doing things to duplicate. Not to just work, but we're doing things to duplicate so we can duplicate it through our business. So if you teach 5, 6, 7 people to do this, right, you have 35 times 5, 6, 7 people. That's how many exposures you now have in your business. So when you see your business slowing down, it just means that people aren't exposing enough people, and usually if they are exposing them, they're doing it the wrong way. So remember, if you talk long, you talk wrong. You have to be in a hurry and say it right off the bat so that the person doesn't get you caught up with asking you a whole bunch of questions. You've already set the precedence that I'm in a rush. And you're directing them what to do, okay? You're directing them what to do. Now, one of the things that we share in this business that will explode your business are virtual grand openings. Stormy Wellington, $2 million in 1 year through virtual grand openings. Anna Quintero just published on Business from Home or whatever website it was. She's at $100,000 a month, and all she does is virtual grand openings. Success leaves clues. It might not be comfortable, but success will leave clues. The beautiful thing about virtual grand openings, which is basically a call like this, connected to a webinar, is that people can sit in the comfort of their home, listen and see the information. And because of the platforms that we use, there's people right now that are on this call, people that are watching this webinar right now that are international, that can still hear the information, that can still get the same information. So as you start connecting with people in Europe, you start connecting with people in the Caribbean and Latin America, you can still have them see this information. And most of you right now, because of social media, have friends that are in other countries that you're missing out because you're not doing virtual grand openings. See, as your coach, I'm only going to tell you things to make you better, never to make you bitter. I'm not saying any of this to make anybody bitter. So if there's somebody on the call that doesn't like VGOs, it's not to make you bitter. It's only because I want to make you better. Virtual grand openings will explode your business. And we all know that professionals launch a business, amateurs start. So the way you launch your business is through virtual grand openings. And there's a script for that as well. So if there's somebody that you're thinking about that's international, there's somebody that's local that you want to get to your virtual grand opening, what are you going to say to them? And we have it for you, okay? You call one of your friends, you call a family member, you call somebody that's on your list, and you say, hey, listen, Jason, I don't have a lot of time right now, right? We just learned that before. You're in a rush. I don't have a lot of time right now, but I just launched one of the biggest projects of my life with a couple of millionaires, right? There's several leaders that we're working with that are millionaires. And before I give you the details, based on where you are in life right now, if it was the right project, would you be open? And listen for a yes or no. If a person says no, there's nothing you can say that's going to automatically make them want to listen. You're just collecting a decision. Hey, Jason, I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm kind of tied up. But I just launched the biggest project of my life with a couple of millionaires. But before I give you the details, based off where you are right now in your life, if it was the right project, are you open? So I want them to tell me, yes, they are open. I want them to give me permission to give them more information. And if you look at the script, which is in your Dare to Dream, it says, listen, I launched the biggest project of my life, right? I created value in it. Be in a hurry. I created value in it. And now I'm taking it away before I give you the details. I'm not just going to give you the details. Based off where you are in your life right now, if it was the right project, would you at least be open? If they say yes, you just go to the next step. How easy is that? Go to the next step. Yes? Who do you know that would like to lose 5 pounds in 5 days? Or you can get paid an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a week while doing it. Man, I do. Oh, man, my wife was just talking about that. Great. Grab a pen. Gapping a person is powerful. Grab a pen. I've never been on a call where I've said to a person, grab a pen, and they haven't been looking for a pen. Gap them. G-A-P. Grab a pen. And what you're going to do is you're going to give them the instructions. So if your VGO is tonight at 9 o'clock, you're going to say, listen, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm having a private conference call. Not just a conference call, it's a private conference call. Builds value. And a webinar for a hand-selected group. But before I give you this information, I need a guaranteed yes right now that you will be on the call on time. If a person says no, I don't think so, well, I got to go pick up the little ones from school. If they can't give you a yes, everything else is a no. And what you want right now are yeses. You want to build value. Don't be so excited that you're begging people to get on your call. Build value. Posture up. Let them hear something different in your voice. Posture up. If they say yes, say great. Okay, here's the number and the webinar information. Shoot me a text, though, when you get on so I can know you're on there so we don't bump you off since it's a private call. Okay? See you then. If a person says, no, I can't get on, or no, I'm not waiting, or I'm not ready for an opportunity, then you just say, great, I'll talk to you later. And that's it. That's it. The Dare to Dream is your playbook. Have it in front of you until you've mastered it, and just read the words. And as you read the words, you're going to start to get your own flow. There might be a word or two that you might interject that's more towards your personality, but this is going to give you the guideline to have success. And if you just think about it, all I'm doing is collecting decisions. And because I have a list of 100 people, names and numbers, I'm not going to get caught up if 2 or 3 people say no. If 3 people say no, great. I have 97 more people to contact. Who do you know that like to lose 5 pounds in 5 days or get paid an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a week while doing it? Man, me. Man, my wife. I just talked with a gentleman today, and he said, man, let me tell you something. I went to your website, and you are right on the money. My girlfriend and I were just talking about health and wellness, and we're going to get married in a couple of months, and we just talked about losing weight. Great. Grab a pen. I got a pen. What's up? Tonight at 9 o'clock p.m., I'm having a private conference call and webinar, and it's just for a hand-selected group of people. But listen, before I give you this information, I need a guaranteed yes right now that you will be on the call on time. Absolutely. Boom. I don't think I can. Well, then what I'll do is I'll let you know if I do something else in the future, but I can't give you the information right now. If they say yes, say great. Here's the number. Here's the webinar. Shoot me a text when you're on the call so I can make sure you don't get bumped off since it's a private call. I'm telling you, this is the key. Most people are not prospecting well. Most people are begging people. Their posture's weak. Or you know what I've heard over and over again? You'll invite a person to a call. A person will say, no, I can't get on that call. So you'll invite them to 5 more different calls, which builds no value in your call. So if a person says no, say no and hang up. Don't give them 5, 6 other options because then you just made it a call. It has to be the call. Well, isn't there going to be another one? No, not like this. I'm launching tonight, and the person that I have that's launching my call, I don't know if I'm going to have them again. So I need, if you're going to get on, it needs to be tonight. Posture up on your calls. Okay? This is going to be one of the most important parts that I'm getting ready to go over, so I need everybody to pay attention. This is where we lose people. This is what will make and break you. Once we've mastered getting people on the conference call, I want you to write this down. The fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune's in the follow-up. It doesn't make any sense to get 5, 6, 7, 9 people on a call and then not follow up. And it doesn't make sense to get 4, 5, 6, 9, 10 people on a call and not properly follow up. So I'm going to show you that in this industry, there's a way to properly follow up. And again, I want you to always remember that we don't do the things that just work for you. We do the things that work and duplicate. So you had your VGO. One of the things that your leadership will do is they will shoot you over a copy of the calling list. Everybody who's on this conference call right now, we have your names and numbers. And we do that for a purpose, so that when a person gets on your VGO, we know all the people that were on the call. And because you have their numbers, you can check to see who was on that call and how long they were on the call. So, of course, the people that stayed on the call all the way through, those are the individuals that we want to follow up with next. So if you're looking at your Dare to Dream, if you're on the webinar and the webinar is just about maxed out, immediately after the conference call is over, the webinar, what the conference call that they got on, you want to follow up with your person. So let's go back to where I gave Jason the conference call number and I told him I was going to call him back in 30 minutes. We can do it there. We can do it right after the webinar. I'm going to call Jason, and I'm going to say something very, very simple to him. Very simple. After the call, I'm going to call Jason and say, Jason, I see that you were on the call for the whole time. Oh, man, I was on that call. Great. I have a question for you. What did you like best about what you heard? That's all you're going to say. What did you like best about what you heard? Now, this is where being coachable and teachable comes in. You're not going to ask that person, what did they like best? What did they think? You never want to ask a person, what did they think? Because we don't want what they thought. We want what they like best. And when you ask a person, what did you like best about what you saw, you're making them consciously and subconsciously look for something good in the information. What did you like best about what you saw? Now, let's get down into the science of what we're getting ready to do right now. Because when you ask a question, you then have to listen for a response. What did you like best about what you heard? A person's going to tell you what they like best. Now, this is where it becomes real, I don't want to say scientific, but this is the science, this is the philosophy behind asking that question. When you ask a person, what did they like best about what they heard, they're going to tell you what interests them and what can take them to the next level in your business if you utilize it right. So if a person says, I like the tea, there's no sense for you talking about the money. If a person says, I love the compensation plan, there's no need for you to talk about the NRG. But I hear it over and over and over again because people aren't listening for what's in it for that person. When you ask that question, what did you like best about what you heard, you're waiting for a response, and that response is going to give you exactly what you need to focus on to help that person go to the next level. Now, if you're on the webinar, I want to do something real quickly because this is going to be very, very important. As you ask that question, you're going to run into different types of people, and I want to help educate you on the different personality types that you're going to run across in this business and how you can guide them to the next level, okay? There's 4 different personality traits that people have. Now, people will have multiple personality traits in these 4 categories, but mostly one of them will be dominant. We refer to them as the 4 colors, and you're going to hear them talked about also as the 4 fish. So I want you to write this down so you can start to understand your target audience. You can start to understand the people that you're coming in contact with. Some people fall into a category of a yellow. A yellow is also synonymous with what we call a whale. So some people know them by the colors, some people know them by the fish. But the characteristic traits of a whale is they're indirect and open. They love to help people. They want to save the world. They're teachers. They're nurturers. They love relationships. They love to hug. They're some of the best builders, very, very loyal, and very loving and forgiving. So you need to understand to be able to identify when a person is a whale or a yellow. And again, they're synonymous. Some people have learned this through colors. Some people have learned this through the fish. So that's a yellow. A blue are also synonymous with a dolphin, are direct and open. They love to have fun. They love to laugh. They're usually disorganized. They love relationships. They're some of the best storytellers out there. They love and want recognition. Again, they love to hug, and they're very loyal also. So these are dolphins, okay? And your yellows are usually people like your pastors of churches, people that are part of nonprofit organizations, right? They fit in that category. Your blues are people that love to have fun. And you're going to have a lot of folks that you're going to see at the different events that we have that are up dancing in front of the room that will just go to the events just because of the fun level. Those are your dolphins, okay? Your greens are synonymous with what we call an urchin. Okay? These people are indirect and close. They want to know all the facts, right? They're hard to get in the business. First, they're quiet. They're very organized people, very analytical. Most of these people have to be right all the time. Usually complain a lot, don't get hugs. These are people that just have to have all the facts before they can do anything. You know, I know you said 9 herbs. What are the 9 herbs? I know you said that the NutriBurst has 72 amino acids. What are those 72 amino acids? You know, these are the type of questions that your green or your urchin is going to ask. They're going to be very fact-based. Then you have the reds, or what we call synonymous also as a shark. These people are direct and close. They're all about the money. They love challenges. They just want to see the money. They love recognition. They're workaholics. They're usually in nice suits and dress well, and they've learned to fake it till they make it, okay? You want to know these different 4 personality types because as you ask the question, okay, what did you like best about what you heard, you're listening for one of these responses. So if a person says, listen, I love the compensation plan, I love the fact you can make a lot of money, they're probably a shark. If a person says, you know, I really like the fact that it's focused on health and wellness, and I could just see us really helping a lot of people, that person's probably a whale. If a person says, listen, I went to the website and I see that you got an event coming up in Atlanta, and oh, I love Atlanta, man. I'd love to go to Atlanta for a convention. That person's probably a dolphin that likes to have a lot of fun, right? And if a person's saying, what'd you like best about what you heard? Well, you know, I liked everything, but, you know, the fact they said they have 9 herbs, I need to know what those 9 herbs are and how do they work synergetically. And, you know, where are they grown? Is it grown in the United States? Is it organic? That's probably a person who's an urchin because they need all of the facts. So I went through all of that because it's important that you understand who you're talking to so you can better guide them to the next level, okay? So if you're looking at your Dare to Dream, and we're following up, because we know the fortune's in the follow-up, immediately after a call or immediately on the time that you said you're going to follow up with somebody, you want to ask them, what did you like best about what you heard? And you want to be quiet and listen. When they tell you what they've liked, your only response should be, great. What package did you want to get started with? anticipate the sale. What package did you want to get started with? And if a person says, I want to get started with an ABC package, have an application and take the information down. That's the easiest way to do it. But what you're going to find a lot of times is when you ask a person what package they want to get started with, they might say something like, I'm not ready to get started right now because I have some questions. And this is when you say, great. I know just how you feel because I felt the same way when I got started. Listen, I'm very new to the company. I'm still in training. So I want to do something like I want to introduce you to my senior business partner. Okay? And at this time, you are going to edify your senior business partner. And your senior business partner is going to be the person that you go to for your three-way calls. Now, let me help you understand something that's very, very important. And this is, we're going to get all the egos out of the way. I want you to understand that edification is just part of what we do. If you have a problem edifying and speaking highly about somebody, it's going to be hard for you to build this business. I've known Mr. Scott for over 16 years. We've been in many businesses together. I've sponsored him. He sponsored me. We've worked together in one business center. We've done it all. But it doesn't matter when it comes to a three-way call, he's still Mr. Scott. And I have no problem edifying him. The effectiveness of your expert to help you is directly linked to how well you edify them. If you make them float on water, then when they get on the phone with your prospect, that power is just going to be given right back to you. So when you're edifying your expert, there's some simple things you can say about them. Hey, I want to introduce you to Mr. Scott. Now notice that even though I've known him all these years, I've known him through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I didn't know him Jason. My expert is always Mr. or Mrs. because what it does, it builds instant respect. Mr. Scott. Not Jason. I don't bring him down to my level. Hey, this is my boy. We've been kind of cool for years. No, this is Mr. Scott. This gentleman is having massive success in this industry. And then I go through and I edify him. If you're on the webinar, watch exactly what we say and why we say it. I say, listen, I want to introduce you to Mr. Scott, having a lot of success in his business. He knows 100% of the information. He loves helping people. He makes some significant, serious income. And as you see, he loves having fun as well. He's highly sought after. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. Now, one of the things that I suggest is when you're doing your three-way calls, set them up with your expert first. Let them know that you're going to be on the phone. Let them know that there's a possibility that you might have a three-way so they can be expecting your call. But if you also notice when I edified Mr. Scott, I edified him and I hit every one of the 4 personality traits. I said he knows 100% of the information. So right there I tapped into the urchin. He loves helping people. That tapped right into the whale. He makes some significant income. Right there, I tapped into the shark. And he loves having fun. Right there, I tapped into the dolphin. So my edification process was designed that no matter what that person is, if they're a dominant personality type or if they have multiple personality types, I just let them know that my expert can tap into whatever interests you. So the edification process is very, very important. Again, knows 100% of the information, loves helping people, making some significant income, and he loves having fun. You tap into all 4 of the personality traits. Hold on, let me see if I can get him on the line. So the edification of your senior business partner has happened prior to you doing the three-way call. Now you put your phone on pause, you dial your expert for the three-way call. There's some things that you need to do before you connect everybody together. Okay? So never call your expert and have the other person right there and three-way them in. You don't know if your expert just put something in his mouth. You don't know if he or she needs to get into a quiet place. So when you call your expert, you say, hey, Miss Galera, this is Walter. How are you? Yeah, you ready for our three-way call at 9:50? Great. And what you're going to do very quickly is you're going to tell your expert what your prospect has seen or heard and what they like most. This gives your expert the information they need in order to take it to the next level. So you want to make sure that you give your expert this information so that they can help you. Okay? Very, very important. So when you call your expert, don't call up the other person on the phone. Call and say, hey, Ms. Galera, I have Jason on the other line, the gentleman I told you about. He's taken a look or a listen to the website or the conference call, and he loved the money aspect of it. That's what you're going to do, and that's going to allow your expert to help you guide that person to the next level. Once you have done that, you connect everybody together, you are going to make the introduction. When you make the introduction, don't forget, even though this is Jason I've known for over 16 years, he's Mr. Scott right now on the call. So when I introduce my expert, I'm always going to use my expert's last name, and I'm going to use my prospect's first name. So for instance, I've called Ms. Galera. Hey, Ms. Galera, I have Jason on the other line. Jason is taking a look at the information. I want to know if we can do that three-way right now. Okay, good. Yeah, Jason is taking a look at the website, the Team NGD. He's watched the video, and he loved the money. Okay? Yeah, he's from New York also. Yes, he was a former paratrooper also. Okay, good stuff. You ready? Okay, great. Hey, Jason, are you there? Good stuff. Hey, Jason, I was able to get this young lady on the phone. As I told you before, she's really, really busy, so I appreciate her time. Jason, this is Miss Galera. Miss Galera, this is Jason. Eileen, this is Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, this is Eileen. I'm always using my expert's last name, my prospect's first name, which will build instant credibility. Now, let me share this with you, prospects, our new family members. When you're doing your three-way call and you've introduced the expert to your prospect, your only job should be to just put your phone on mute and take notes. And I want you to write this down because this is very, very important as we move forward with PS3, helping everybody understand how to effectively move through a three-way call. When you do a three-way call, at no time, and I need you to write that down just like I'm saying it, at no time should you interrupt your expert. As soon as you do that, you have just de-edified your expert and basically messed the call. You never jump in. Put your phone on mute. Your expert's asking questions. They're doing certain things because they're moving your prospect to another level. They know where they're going with your prospect. They know what they're doing. So let them just guide that person to the next level. So all you need to do is be quiet, listen, take notes on what your expert does. And when your expert gets on the phone, all they're going to do is, again, reconfirm that they had a chance to look at the information. They're going to make sure that they ask again what did they like best about what they saw. They're going to ask them if they have any questions and answer those questions and try to close the person. Now, if the person is not ready to be closed, what your expert's going to do is what we call BAM-FAM them, which is book a meeting from a meeting. So if you have a person that gets on, let's say, a launch call, they've taken a look at the information, they like everything they see, but they still have some questions on the product. Then what your expert will do is get them some information or lead them to some information about the product. If a person needs to see a little bit more about the compensation plan, then your expert will BAM-FAM them to something that will give them more information on the compensation plan. But this is the most important thing to understand, and this is where the trust factor has to come in. When your expert gives direction, at the end of the call, all you should do is follow through with what the expert said. So example, if I'm on a three-way call right now and Jason's my prospect, Jason's my expert, and Miss Galera is my prospect. So Eileen's my prospect, Mr. Scott's my expert. Mr. Scott's talking to Eileen, and Eileen has a couple questions about the compensation plan. So Mr. Scott says, listen, I want you to go to the website and take a look at the video again where they break down the compensation plan and write your questions down. Whatever Mr. Scott says, that's what that person does. So at the end of the call, Mr. Scott is going to edify me back. He's going to say some great things about me. He's going to thank us both, and he's going to get off the call. And at that time, the only thing I should do is just reiterate what Mr. Scott said. So, okay, Aileen, we had a chance to speak with Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott said go to teamngd.com. Take a look at that video again. That will show you the comp plan. Then after you take a look at that, we'll get everybody back on the phone, okay? Okay, have a good night. You don't get on the phone, start answering questions, start having a conversation after the expert has already given direction. You get off the phone as soon as possible. It seems like a lot of steps, but it's really, really easy to do. And a three-way call can really not only explode your business, but it can take literally a couple minutes out of your day. And once you feel comfortable and do those three-way calls, you can do 4 or 5 three-way calls just on your lunch break alone. And it's going to be very, very important that as you're setting people up to talk to your expert, that you ask them this dynamic question. Hey, listen, Aileen, I know that you had a chance to go to the website. Let me ask you, did you have a chance to take a look at the information in its entirety? If you don't have that question answered, please don't get a person on the phone with your expert to find out that they haven't even looked at the website, because now they're expecting your expert to do a presentation for them. On a three-way call, it's just an extension. It's a continuation of what they've already seen. So allow your prospect to do their homework first, and then your expert can just answer calls as they go along. Okay? So what I want to do real quickly before we end the call, I know that Ms. Galera is on the back line. I know that Mr. Scott is on the back line. We're actually going to bring them on. Didn't even rehearse this tonight. I'm going to go ahead and give each one of them an assignment, and we're going to do a three-way call. So, Mr. Scott, are you on the call with us on the back line?
Yes, Mr. Smith, I'm absolutely on the phone line, sir.
Ms. Galera, are you on the back line?
Yes, sir. I'm on the back line.
Good stuff, good stuff. This is what we're going to do. Ms. Galera, you are going to be the distributor. I met you in Panera Bread. You gave me some information, and you're going to do a three-way call with myself and Mr. Scott. No rehearsal, no nothing. I just want you to do a three-way call where you're going to follow up with me to see if I took a look at the information and then connect me to Mr. Scott. And let's do it the proper way.
All right, I'm on.
So you go ahead. I'm the prospect, Ms. Galera. You are the distributor, and you're going to connect the three-way call. So take it away.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, Walter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, great. Thank you for asking. Listen, so did you get a chance to look at the information that I sent you?
I actually was just looking at I just got finished looking at that video you sent me.
Awesome, awesome. So what did you like best of what you heard or seen?
I got to be honest with you. You know, I've always been in the health and wellness, but that money aspect looks good to me. It looks like you can really make some good income.
Right on. So what level or what pack do you want to get started at?
You know, I was looking at the different packages, but I still had some questions about, you know, really the way the money works. I wasn't kind of sure fully, so I have a couple questions on that.
Well, awesome. Well, listen, I am new to the business. I'm also in training right now. But what I want to do is I want to get you on the phone with my expert, an incredible gentleman I work with. He's my mentor, my sponsor, and he's very, very busy. He's building a huge organization. But I know that he told me that if I find someone smart like you, that he would spend some time to talk with them. So let me see if I can get a hold of him right now. Please hold on. Let me see if I can get him on the phone right now, okay? Please hold on.
Okay.
Awesome. Hello, ring, Mr. Scott. Are you there?
Hey, Ms. Galera, what's going on, lady? What you got on today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I have a prospect on their line, Walter. He just took a look at the information, and he loves the money aspect part of it, and he's got questions on some packages. Do you have a few minutes to do a three-way call for me, sir?
Yes, matter of fact, let me step out here, get myself to a quiet area. Okay, yeah, I'm available. Now, let me ask you really quickly. Now, this gentleman, now, how do you know him? Is he like a good friend of yours, or how did you meet him?
Yeah, it's a good friend of mine. I've been prospecting for a while, and he had the chance to finally take a look at the information.
Okay. What does he do for a living?
He's a hotel and restaurant management manager.
Okay, good stuff. When he listened to the information, he listened to the information in its entirety, correct?
Yes, he did.
Okay, what did he like best about what he heard?
He likes about the money aspect part of it, and so he's not ready to stand right now. He's got a few questions that he wants to get answered on.
Okay, good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and bridge him in. You said his name was Walter, right?
Yes, sir, and I had already edified you.
Okay, good stuff, young lady. Okay, go ahead and connect us.
All right, wonderful. Walter, you still on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, all right. I was able to get a hold of Mr. Scott, and he's very busy, so I appreciate you, Mr. Scott, for taking the call and do the survey for me. And I have Walter on the other line. Mr. Scott, Miss Walter. Walter, this is Mr. Scott.
Hey, Mr. Scott, how are you?
I'm doing incredible, Walter. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Well, great. Well, I don't want to take a lot of your time, but of course, Ms. Galera is one of our top leaders that we have in the entire organization that we're working with. This young lady doesn't say a lot about herself, but but I don't know if you noticed, but she's been able to build business internationally. She's a superstar herself. She trains and she coaches, she mentors thousands of people herself around the world. So anytime she gets me on the phone line and tells me that she has someone that definitely has some huge influence, or they're definitely ready to step into something different, I'll make sure I make some time for that. But anyway, she did tell me that you had a chance to listen to some information, and I know you had a chance to listen to that information in its entirety. Is that correct?
That is correct. I just watched the website.
Okay, good stuff. Well, what did you like best about everything you heard when you watched the website?
Well, I've always been into health and wellness, but I'm going to tell you, when it talked about getting paid 5 different ways, I think that really grabbed my attention.
Well, Walter, I can tell you right from the very beginning, I know how you feel, because I felt the same exact way. Because, for me, health and wellness, I tell people all the time that even though health and wellness is something that I'm focusing on, and I know most people, we make it reactive, and we still learn to make it proactive. But I do know that when it comes to the income level of it, let me help understand, I know that process back and forth, because even me, myself, I've been pretty successful in the industry, as Ms. Galera has told you. But when I looked at this compensation plan, I saw that they have actually condensed all the ways that where normally people who are very successful in the industry can only win. I saw that in this company, the average person is earning an extra $250 a week to $500 a week to thousands of dollars a week, and this is an incredible project. So anyway, what she did tell me that you had some questions about the compensation plan. Like you said, what questions did you have that I might answer?
Well, when I saw the different ways to get paid, I understood most of them, but I still don't understand this building 2-team thing.
Okay, well, that's a great question, Walter. And what I want to help you understand it from the way that I understood it, right? See, one of the things that I do understand, Walter, is that successful people, they build networks. And this is how you know it, because your boss, most people's bosses, has built a network of them. All right? So if your boss has built a network, and we all like to feel we're smarter than our boss, I always recommend if you don't have your own business, the boss has one himself, that you definitely get yourself started. But the easiest way for me to help you understand that when it comes to these teams and stuff is that what we do is we actually build the teams for 2 purposes. One, to leverage our time. So that means if we don't show up to work the way your boss may not show up to work, but yet your boss still earns income, you can do the same thing. But the second thing is to create long-term residual income. See, there's ways that people would say long-term perpetuitous income, residual income. I just like to call it red box money. You familiar with red box, Walter?
Absolutely.
You know how when you see, you might have saw the red boxes when they first came out, and and there was a one place and one Walmart and one Walgreens, and before you know it, red boxes was everywhere. You ever seen that?
You're right.
And when you see that, have you noticed that every time you go into a Walmart or you ride by, if nobody's standing at the red box right there, within a few moments somebody is coming to the red box? You ever notice that?
That's right.
But the reason why people have built those red boxes is because that's a network. And that network is bringing in residual income. And that network allows the average person to earn income for doing something right one time. So the same way with this business, whenever you start to build 2 teams, it's like you're having a team of red boxes in Walmart and a team of red boxes in front of Walgreens. And as you have those red boxes that people are actually watching, getting movies, every time someone goes to get a movie, it's $1. And this business works the same exact way. So it allows you to build a team so that you can leverage your time. So if you're not there, you can earn income. But more importantly, you can actually start to leverage yourself and learn and start to earn residual income. That means doing something right one time, and you can get paid week by week by week, month after month, year after year. For as long as people are actually utilizing the services. So that's basically the whole process, when it comes to those teams. So instead of just building one team, you build a team, 2 teams, the team on the left and the team on the right. Because some companies you have to build by yourself. But in our organization, we teach people that even though you're in business for yourself, you're not by yourself. And we're going to actually help you to facilitate a faster level of success by putting people under you. So each time you put somebody there or I put them there in that team, you'll still have the opportunity to get paid on that for the lifetime that person remains in the organization. Does that answer your question with that, Walter?
So you're saying that if you put somebody within one of my teams, that I still get paid from what they do?
Yeah. Exactly, and that's what I like about the concept. We say you're going to build 2 teams, but what I didn't tell you is that we're going to help you build one, because we're going to actually start putting people under you, because as you start to build, we're going to help you build one of those teams. So we're going to help you leverage your time, yes.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah, I know, and that was exactly what I looked at, and that's what captivated me as well. I mean, because I grew up in the projects in New York, grew up in welfare, have a high school diploma, but because of that concept, that simple concept there, is why now I have a chance to not only travel across the U.S., but travel across in and out the country as well. And I'm going to show you how to do the same thing, provided that you're coachable, teachable, and trainable. Are you that?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, good stuff. Well, Walter, based on the information that we just shared, would there be anything else that you need to know before you chose to get started tonight?
Well, just knowing that and understanding how that works, I think that really answered my question.
Okay, well, great stuff. So based on the information that you've seen, what product type did you want to get started with tonight? Which one made the most sense to you?
Well, my budget, I think, for really getting into a business venture is anywhere from, let's say, $900 to, I'd say, $1,500 comfortably.
Okay, good stuff. And we can definitely work with that. So if you get this started at the $1,500 package, how much money would you need to make, like, on a weekly basis in order to make this business worth your while?
On a weekly basis, if I can make $1,000 a week, it would be worth my while.
Okay, good stuff. So if you can work $1,000 a week, now let me ask you, like, how much time would you be willing to carve out of your schedule every week to make that $1,000 a week?
I would treat it like a part-time job, anywhere from 25 to 30 hours.
Okay, good stuff. Right, so you can make about $1,000 a week. You can carve out about 25 to 30 hours a week. Now, if you can make $1,000 a week, carve out 25, 35 hours a week or so. How long would you be willing to make a commitment for that? How many months would you be really willing to make a commitment for that?
Well, a couple of my cousins have traditional businesses, and I know that in their first year they don't even make any money. So I'd definitely be willing to give it, 6 months to 12 months.
Okay, good stuff. Well, Walter, if I can show you how to work for the next 6 months, or maybe definitely the next 12 months, and you can actually carve out that 25 to 30 hours a week, and you can definitely make that $1,000 a week doing that. Would there be anything else you need to know before you got started with me tonight?
No, it would be.
Okay, good stuff. Well, let me ask you a question, Walter, because I'm going to get you started at that we have a package that's right at the $1,500 level. That's going to give you the best of what you're going to need, because one thing I understand is when entrepreneurs get started, they get started with everything that they need right from the very beginning, and I can tell you already had that entrepreneurial mindset. So I'm going to get you started at that level there. So let me ask you a question, Walter. Will you be using your debit card or your credit card?
Probably use my American Express.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, what's the card number on that on American Express? What's the expiration date on that?
Expiration date 3/19.
Okay, good stuff. And guys, basically, once that happens, I get the information. I put this gentleman into the system, and after that happens, then I do a welcome call. So, Mr. Smith, I do appreciate you, sir, for allowing myself, Ms. Galera, to even just help you in that process of just showing people how simple this process is to do a 3-way call, and I turn the phone call back over to you, sir.
Well, I appreciate both of you so much for jumping out there, and it wasn't scripted at all, and it was a perfect 3-way call. And let me tell you, family, the person that masters this, the person that can do the most 3-way calls will win the game. And understand that some people will have a high center of influence and can tell people what to do, and they'll do it. But the 3-way call is simple enough and duplicatable enough that a person that does not have a high center of influence can use the influence of somebody else to have success, and it's something that can duplicate throughout the entire organization. So if you're noticing that you're not getting enough people out to your events, if you notice that it's hard for you to talk to people and you don't know what to say and you're fumbling over words, download the Dare to Dream packet, play around with it, use it. Use it on your friends and family members as test people, and just mark it getting comfortable with the script. And I'm telling you, as you move people through the 3-way call, if you've noticed, Miss Galera didn't say a word. She didn't say anything. Even if Mr. Scott would have forgotten something, she would have just been quiet, allowed him to move through. A lot of times if Mr. Scott said something wrong, I knew I wouldn't even know it. But she allowed his expertise to guide me through and either close the sale or lead me to the next form of exposure, which is called a BAM fam. So right at the top of the hour, I hope this information was helpful because there's been so many individuals that I've been working with that have just been scrambling around, didn't know what to say, didn't know how to say it. I hope this gives you that edge to just go out here tomorrow and work on PS3, piquing interest, showing the plan, and more importantly, doing a three-way call. The more three-way calls you have going throughout your organization, the more success you will see. So I'm definitely going to open up the call for just a few people that want to jump out there before we close call tonight. Any leaders on the back line want to jump out there?
Mr. Smith, Jason L. Scott first all over the world. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Take it away.
Well, good stuff, sir. As you know, I'm always on the road driving somewhere. But I did want to say, sir, that you did such an incredible job, and I'm glad you was actually, doing the script. You actually read my mind because I was thinking to myself, it sure would be great if the people can actually hear the simplicity of one, because a three-way call is simply a brief exposure, a brief continuation of the exposure process. And because the brief continuation of the exposure process is just another form of exposure. So sometimes, part of that process is actually part of our BAM fam system, booking a meeting from a meeting, and a three-way call is that. But I find, Mr. Smith, that when more people do those three-way calls, more people definitely have more success. Matter of fact, you actually called me today for several three-way calls exactly, even though you're an expert, even though you know all the information. You called me for three-way today. Aileen Galera called me for three-way today, and I'm super proud, sir, to even just have, just know that you and I have been able to do such great things around the world, and I know people are going to have some great information for this. So, matter of fact, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, make sure you go to Team NGD, because as soon as this call finishes, we're going to make sure we stop it. We're going to get it saved. We're going to log it onto to teamngd.com. When you go and click on to where it says, four-step system, there's already a peak interest call there, but we're going to upload this one there as well. So I appreciate you, Mr. Smith, and what you do to the organization, and I turn the phone call back over to you.
Absolutely, sir, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you just pointing out the fact that, one of the things I tell people in the business all the time is I'm never, ever going to ask anyone to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. Haven't done or that's going to hurt their business. And today, like you said, Ms. Galera, myself doing three-way calls, because I understand that is the business, taking it off myself, putting it on something or someone else. And that's why we have several people coming into the business today, continuing to grow, opening in different marketplaces. Appreciate you and all that you do, sir, and travel safe while you're out there. Anybody else want to jump out there and share anything before we close the call?
Mr. Scott, this is Aileen, sir.
Yes, Miss Aileen, this is Mr. Smith.
I'm sorry. All right.
Take it away, young lady.
Great, thank you. Great information, for bringing us back to the basics again of doing the PS3. Very, very simple, but very powerful, and you did it incredible in a very, very effective way to build this business. And so, a great call, and thank you very much. And I just want to point out as well, when I was doing the three-way call, I really postured up as well. And when I transitioned the three-way call to connect you with Mr. Scott, I didn't ask your permission if I can put you on a three-way call with Mr. Scott. I just went ahead and say, hold on, let me get a hold of Mr. Scott. So I just want to point that out as well, because a lot of times, we ask permission for them to put us, to our prospect, to connect them to our expert, and I don't think that we should do that. I had the posture up and just say, hold on, let me connect you to my expert. So I turn the call back to you, Mr. Smith.
Excellent point, Ms. Galera. Absolutely a golden nugget right there. Not asking permission. I even had a lot of distributors that say to their prospects, hey, I want to do a three-way call with you. And three-way call is just a jargon that we use in network marketing. So you're 100% correct, not asking permission, not using the word three-way call, but just posturing up and going ahead and doing it. Perfect example, ma'am, and that's why you're having so much success, because you've mastered that three-way call. And as somebody who's had massive success in the industry, earn up to $30,000 in a month, you're still going back to the basics, because you understand that building this business is about mastering the mundane. So anybody else want to jump out there before we close the call? Good stuff, family. Again, it's been my privilege, my pleasure to be on the call tonight to talk about the PS3, Peaking Interest, Showing the Plan, three-way call. Remember, we are just collecting decisions. He or she that exposes the most amount of people in this industry will win the game. So the question is, how many people are you going to expose and how many people are you going to expose properly. Guys, let's get out there. Let's get on the social media. Let's let everybody know that these trainings are helping people. Let's go out there. Let's give shout outs. And more importantly, let's get results. Everybody take care. Take charge. More importantly, God bless. Have an incredible, incredible evening.
All callers are unmuted.
Great call. Thank you.